Hello, beautiful people. Today, it's a personal book because there's a lovely old lady that lives in my block. Across the street, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 3 or 4 houses that way. And one day we were sitting down and we were having, a nice conversation. We got a bunch of ladies together and we're conversating, and she was telling me, well, my parents were scientists and my mom was I think she taught like at Stanford or something. I don't know. Like, so her parents are so interesting. Her life was so interesting. And I was like, like, have you ever written down? I mean, do you have pictures? Do you scrapbook? I wonder how your parents look like. She's a pretty old lady. And she's like, well, I don't have any pictures. My sister, whatever, has them. And like, I don't have any. I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer. I know like 4 generations live in that house. She lives there with her daughter, her one and only daughter. Her one and only daughter had one daughter, and that one daughter has one daughter. So there is not much of a generation in there, but I think that's more of the reason why it should be treasured, right? So I told her, because I care for her little girl, like her great granddaughter, because she's like my daughter's age. They go to the same school. In the mornings I go pick her up so that we could all walk together. Anyway, so I was telling her, you should have your story. And then I go, you know what? I make books that are, kind of scrapbook journals, like memoir kind of style books that I have, made before. And like my generational book, remember how I made one? And so I want her to do that. And I was like, throwing the idea around, and she's like, oh, that'd be so awesome. Something you can hand down to your great granddaughter, and I can keep on going or whatever. And she said, I didn't want it to sound like, well, before you forget kind of thing. But she said, I should do it now that I have a clear sound and I remember a lot of stuff. I remember a lot. She speaks like 5 languages or something. I don't know. FYI, my son, my 13-year-old son, also is learning 5 languages. Anyways, that's besides the point. She's a very interesting lady. She's lived in Japan. She's lived in Philippines. She's lived in other states, and I think she's lived in like Paris. I don't know. She's lived a lot of places because her dad was in the military. And then I guess she moved to San Diego, and then she moved here. I mean, it's really interesting. So I would, anyway, so I mentioned the book, and she was like, I thought she was like, yeah, sure, going along with me. And, kind of pretending that she was interested to kind of like just like, yeah, sure, But like a couple of days later, I saw her and she said, I already asked my sister to send me a lot of copies of pictures. They should arrive soon. And I was like, oh, let me get to that book, because I gotta put it where my mouth is. So, is that how you say it? Please let me know down below. I don't know. I know there's a saying like that. I gotta put it where I said something. Anyway, I'm gonna do an ode to my generational book, which is this one. So it's kind of gonna look like this, but I feel a little restrained with it being so small. I love the size, but I feel like a person that's older and wants to write something down, because she wants to write stuff, and she was telling me when she was telling me about the pictures, she's like, yeah, I can write stuff down, like places that I've lived from what year to what year and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I think she's going to be more of a scrapbook rather than a journal. But I don't want to give her a ginormous book that she can't carry. Do you know what I mean? It's like a yin yang. I have to have a perfect balance. I don't want to give her a small one because I think it's too small for her to write. Look at my big old hand compared to the little book. But at the same time, I don't want to give her a ginormous book that it's heavy on her. So I have this book. By the way, if you go to like the library sells books. Well, my library sells books for 10 cents. And if you go to the secondhand stores, like in the back where like you donate, don't go to Goodwill. Goodwill doesn't do it. But a lot of secondhand stores have buckets of books and they have them for free or they're going to throw them away. So I grab the ones that I like the sizes of, and to store a bunch of covers, I just recycle the inside. I take out the inside, I recycle it, or I cut out, like in this case, I cut out some images. I'll cut some images out and then just throw away the rest. That way I can store a lot of covers in different sizes. So when I'm ready or prepared to do a project, I can like a catalog, pretty much go through all the sizes that I have. Okay, so my spine is completely dry and solid. I like the shape. It has a little janginess to it, but I think with all the leather on top of it, you won't even be able to see it. I am going to try something new with this binding. Is I'm going to leave a larger gap here. I usually leave about a pencil's worth. I'm going to leave a little bit more. I'm going for this kind of binding where it's the spine, the actual spine, and the actual cover is far. So it has that structural kind of binding here, like this. So I want to try that this time. But I'm not going to bind it. I'm just going to give it space for movement, for the curve and for this. I feel like before they were a little too stiff because I didn't have enough space. And so it was a little harder to work with. So this time I want to make more space here. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit more than a pencil. About right there. I got the coughs, so apologize for that. Okay, so that's one pencil. That's a little bit more. I'm going to use this very strong, it's like a canvas tape. Look, it's not gluing. It's not sticky at all. It's not sticky at all, right? And then I'm going based on this line and this line. Okay, so they're glued. Looking good. I like how that looks. Looks very magnificent. This is my beloved robe. And I've already cut my pieces, but I want to, where's my little knife thingamajigger? All right. I want to kind of like score it. I can't really put glue everywhere because it will seep through. I haven't bought that spray adhesive, which would be worth good right now, but I know I might use glue in the corners. So we'll do that. Oh, I am going to use glue over here. It's paper, so glue fine, but I like to make sure, especially when it's like a gift, you know? Anyways. So here's my piece of so I know my leather is gonna come about right here, like at least half an inch. So I want to go in at least half that inch, and I have enough space all the way around. Okay, then I fold it up a little bit to really avoid for the glue to come out on the other side. I'm going to try to have a really thin layer and maybe let it dry for like 30 seconds so that it's not as liquidy and runny. What really is going to hold it together is when I put the leather on top of it. So you pretty much just want a semi-hold. And we'll clean the felt afterwards. But I think I can stain this because luckily enough I went to Michael's and they had their oil paints on sale. I got these $2 each. Can you believe it? And so I think I can kind of work my magic with these. So luckily I have them right here on my desk. So I was like, wait, I have that right here. So I'm going to see. It has this crease, but I think it's gonna enhance the oldness to it. But I'm gonna make sure I put it on the bottom because I don't want to stress it more when I wrap up. Although it's not a big ledge here, or like ridge, whatever you want to call it, I still wouldn't want to risk it. So let's see where we go here. Okay, so I'm gonna try PVA glue because I wet it a little bit and I stretched it a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I want to maybe just do the curve first and then work my way down, not down, sideways to the rest of the book or the edges. But I want to do the curve or the very spine tip first. I think that's what I want to do. Let's see. Get some glue off my hand because once I was working on velvet and oh my gosh, I accidentally put glue all over my freaking book. Okay, so I've glued both parts. I glued here, the tip of the spine. I didn't glue here between the folds so that it can do this. You see that? Anyway, so I'm gonna cut even more before. I've been trying to keep it wet so that it's easy for me to fold. Anyways, so there. I cut to there. It's good. Kind of hard with these little scissors, but I need to have control, and I don't want to do a knife or big scissors. Okay, so I've sprayed it, and now let's glue it. I've cut it, and so now I want to glue it. So I'm scoring kind of the area, and it's like different lines, you know, like just kind of like make it so that I can fold it over easy, because it's kind of not easy sometimes. Okay, so let's glue this. I glue the sides first. Let me glue this so you can see. So I glue the sides first, then I'll do the center at the end. So I do this, and always remember to put a little scrap of leather in the bottom, because that's what's visible. So when you put your thing, it doesn't damage the facade. I mean, if you're worried about the inside too, you could, but I think it's going to be covered, so I'm not too worried about it. So like that. So we do all three of them, and then we let them dry till tomorrow. Okay, so this is done. I like how it came out. These cuts, I probably did them a little too deep so it comes in, but I really don't mind it, just because it makes it so much more comfortable to open and close. In the past, my spines have been hard, so I'm okay with that. I am aware that, you know, I'm not doing it traditionally, and excuse me, and that I could probably do thinner leather, but that's what I have, and you know, it's scrap, so I'm trying to work with what I have. So anyways, I have purchased this paper. It was $20.99, but 40% off because it was at Hobby Lobby, and the size is 24 by 18. This thing is, I think, 11 by 10. It's semi-square. It's not really square, but kind of squarish. So this is 18 and then 24. So what I'm going to do is cut it in half, and then use half and half for these, right? Okay, so I have drawn on here my design. I've cut it. I used the scissors to cut it. It was quite simple, actually. These are garden scissors, and it was fairly easy. So I want to give it some shape, because otherwise it's gonna look like this in my corner. Look, like this. Look how lame that is. So one, I want to score where the lines are gonna bend, fold to go under my thing, and two, I want to give it some shape. I am going to use this like I think it's a glass ruler. I've in the past, to score my cans, because I've done a lot of like stuff like this with cans. As a matter of fact, the book that I'm using as inspiration has these corners, right? And they have this little line. This is a can. This is a Rockstar can that I used for corner. I didn't want to use that same thing, so I'm using this Real Brass. They are $3.99, and I pretty much just used like a third of it. So I could have made it this big, but I feel like in this book, the main character is the corners, and I didn't want to do that to this book. So, so therefore, I mean, not therefore, but to do kind of the same thing, I want to do this. For this one, I use the back of a crochet hook, but it's a little yanky because, you know, it kind of gets stuck, so you got to push through it. And I don't want to do that here. I want it to be more smooth. And I remembered I had this rolling tool that I believe is for glass, like I was saying. I don't think it's a new blade, is actually probably as old as the tool. But I tried it in this little piece of brass. And look, I don't know if you can see, but it does it really smooth. And on the back side, it gives it a very crisp line. I wish it was a little thicker, but I think this thin line would suffice. So I'm marking where I want to go on that line. So I don't mess up, you know, because I will mess it up if I don't mark where I want to go. I had made 2 lines because this is the inside, and then this is the actual edge of the book, but the book is not that thick. It's actually super thin, so I went to half. So pretend this line is moved back in half of what the actual design is. So I will go back halfway here and halfway here, and then I think I'm gonna leave it there. Oh, and then I'm also going to score where I fold it, so it becomes a clean fold, because if I don't score when I fold it, it becomes like paper, you know, like jaggedy. It also does it with the metal. So let's score it. Okay, this is one. I'm doing it off screen because I got to put like my whole weight on it like this, and I don't want you to see like my head. But I can show you how I did this lines, but pretty much this is it. So I have a short line and a long line. I mean, short side and a long side. So the long side, I have to make sure it goes along this side. So there goes, this one's going to go like this. This one, on the other hand, it's on the other side. So I have to pretty much copy all these lines again. I didn't do my template technique that I always do, where it's just like I make one template and then I do that. I just straight out drew it onto here. I mean, I was feeling inspired at the moment, I guess. But one of my favorite YouTubers is currently working on a brass project. And man, it just reminds me how much I have to, you know, prepare myself to work with. Okay, so pretty much, since I got to do these lines from the other side, so I got to do it from this side. Ugh. Anywho, it's gonna bend anyway, but yeah, pretty much. Look at the difference when I don't have it under my head. And look, I'm about to do it. Look. So it's about technique, not strength. Because I'm putting pretty much the same technique, but see how it scores it a lot better when I put my control, I like tighten it close to me, and I have better grip, better control of the wheel. And actually this thing is so perfectly made for my hand. Almost feels like a weapon. Just kidding, no, it doesn't. So that's why I bring it close to my chest, because it makes things easier. Not that I don't want to show you, but it just makes it easier for me. The cool thing about this roller thing is that, like, when I was doing the back of the crochet hook, every time you stop, it becomes like you could tell you stopped. Here you really it not as much. You can't tell as much. And I stopped just like to get a better grip. You want to try it again together? Okay. Yeah. Yay, I did it. That looks cool. I did this one right here. Oh, nice too. No, I'm so sorry. I have to bring it close to me. There. Look. See? Oh, I like it so much. Okay, so you could also hammer it in if you are I'm not hammering it. Although I have an idea to hammer one in, but not this one. You can hammer it in. I just don't have, I have the camera sitting on the surface that I would be banging, and so look, so you guys would get dizzy. But anyways, so I've scored this one, and so the way I fold them is I grab two surfaces that are hard. For example, this one, and hold on, let me go get the other. I have another hard one. Give me a second. Okay, so I have these little things. I freaking love these things. I find them here and there for $1. Again, if I don't buy these things for $1, I don't buy them. Like, you know what though? Harbor Freight, I think, has these a little bit smaller. I think I seen it for $1 or $2. But I like seeing the history behind it. Anyway, so I line up where my bend is going to be. Then I tighten it. I love this yellow one because yellow is my favorite color. You could probably get away with one. Oh, it's moved. Anyways, I probably overthought about that. But you want it right on the crease. And then it becomes super easy because all you gotta do is press on it. Look how crisp that line is. And then what I do is do this other line right here. And then when I'm pressing it on the book, it's not that I don't care how it looks, but you won't really see it because it's becomes like a big curve. You'll see right now. Well, I have not done brass corners. I've only done soda can corners. And you'll see how I'll rub it afterwards. But let me finish this corner. Okay, I curved this one. Look, bent it and everything. I also went ahead and curved the tips in a little bit more. Let me show you how I did that. So I grab this and I don't press it. I just kind of like close it a little bit and let it kind of like, you know how when you do like this to the ribbon, sort of like that. I just kind of do that. Like, see, I'm not even pressing on it that much. Just a little bit. I don't know if you could tell right there a little bit of the difference. See, look. Can you tell right there the difference? Bented, not bented. It looks like a paper, like a piece of paper. And then we have to file the ends, the tips, because it looks too jaggedy. But we can even it out with a little bit of sanding. Oh, I did that one too much. But fear not, we can straighten it a little bit. Burnishing style. Sort of like that. But anyways, let's do the rest. The thickness of this board is about the same thickness as this. Sometimes I'll use, if I have an extra piece of paper, material from the cover. Sometimes when I've done these, I'll use a piece of wood. I have those little 4x4 pieces of wood and I have it here. So it's like a coaster, and it's usually the same thickness as some of the books because I use wood on some of my covers. But in this case, I measured and it's the same thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it, and I don't need these anymore. Oh. Okay, like I said, the one that matters that it's straight is in the front. This is not as, I'm not going to say important, but see, it's not as, I don't know if you could tell sideways. This is completely straight and this is more curvy. But we'll fix it right now. Let me show you. So, to make it more straight, I'm going to do two things. One is I'm going to bend it a little bit more than what it is now. So, bam. All the way, almost all the way in. Now, I'm going to open it. And the way I'm going to open it is inserting this back in there. And then tapping it. Watch yourself because the camera's going to shake. And so it starts to flatten out. But you could also do this. Grab a sharp edge and burnish it. Like, I don't know if you could tell the difference. Here, this is more flat edge, and this is more curvy. See right there, straight out right there. And just make sure you can go back and forth to ensure that this one is bent right in. And you can also burnish it once it's on the book. Okay, so this is the paper I'm going to use for the inside cover. Now I'm doing it all the way to the edge. I don't know. I thought I would like it, but I don't know if I do or not. But I think it'll be all right. Anyways, So I'm putting it kind of like just layering it on top because I cut these pieces of canvas and put the holes on it to reinforce my binding, because I want her to have the capability of taking off the signatures, although I will be helping her put the book together, and I like working that way too. Anyway, so I think I want to be able to have that flexibility and offer her that flexibility of what's it called, taking them on and off. So I'm just putting it on, and I centered these kind of where I want them. And so I am going to glue these to the top, and then once that dry, I'm going to pass on the holes to that side, and hopefully I'm able to put an eyelid, but I don't know, because my crocodile doesn't go that far in the into the paper. I think it goes in like, I don't know, half an inch. One day I want to be able to get a big one, but I know a way, sort of like a shortcut of being able to put the rivets on or eyelets on without having to have that crocodile. But the holes are going to be the issue, but I think I can just find a way around it as well. And I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so I've put the corners, and then I kind of put a piece of leather on it like this, and then press the corners a little bit on all ends, just to make it's on pretty tight. I think I could have just glued it on, but of course I'm not gonna do that. So we'll see how this goes. Look, they're on pretty tight. They won't come out. What do you guys think? Okay, so I was thinking of these things to make a hole. Of course, it goes on the opposite way, but I feel like this side looks good, like right there, but this side doesn't look good. So I don't know if I could just get away with one side. I think it wouldn't look good. Like, see, it wouldn't look good. If I do a small one and a big one, wouldn't look good either. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that. It's not they're not coming off, but I am concerned about the inside. That it's I guess it's well on. It's quite snug in there. Look, they look good. Okay, now I want to paint this before I put the paper. Okie dokie. So here it is, guys. I am extremely happy. I want to put a label here and ask her what she wants. Like, is there a family name that she would want me to put there? Or maybe a word. But I do want to make a label. And here I also want to put a word or maybe something that she wants to put. I'm going to put a gold trim on both sides, and then I put something that she wants me to ask. I'm going to ask her about that, and I'm going to ask her about this. And I'm going to see if she wants to write anything on that. I will make a part 2 where we talk to her, where you guys meet her, and I want to... She doesn't want to write on it. She just told me she doesn't want to write on it. She doesn't like her handwriting, and she wouldn't feel... She doesn't want to do it. She just told me, I'll give you the pictures, and like, she pretty much wants me to write it, but I don't know, because me writing it would be like, personal to me, then it wouldn't be personal to her, but she really wants to do it, but she's like, I don't know how I feel about me writing it. So, anyways, I love the corners. I think it's perfect. I may add other things here and there before we get to it, or maybe as we get to it. It's always for me fun to like, or for her maybe to personalize it in some way. I don't know. I don't know what she would want. I want it leave it as blank as possible for her to personalize it. But I did make it. What is it? 15 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of them has 3. Yes. So anyway, so no, 14 because one of them has 2. Because I only cut 7 pages up. Anyway, so I really loved it, how it came out. I love the color. She precisely said, because I asked her, how would you, if, I showed her some of my videos, some of my pictures of my journal. She hasn't come to my house because she walks, but I don't know, she hasn't walked over here. So I showed her my journals in picture, not in life, and I asked her what she wanted, and this is exactly what she wanted. She wanted leather, brass, and blue suede or leather. So I have blue leather, and so this is it. This is how I did it for her. Like I said, I want to put a label on it, but I guess I will come after. This is the inside of it. I love it. I also want to maybe do like a dedication page here, and these are the pages. And you guys saw me put the eyelids on here. Eyelets. How do you say it? It's not eyelids, because that's from an eye. Eyelets. I am lost. Anyways, that. I put those here, and then I made a hole in the center of that, and then I put this here. Now, I am very confused, not confused, confuzzled. Do I coffee stain them or not? I don't know this paper, so I don't know if it would get ugly or not. So it's thick enough. It's 95 grams, it says. So it's not thin paper, but I don't want it to be ugly because it's a gift, So I don't know. I may want to coffee dye it as I'm working with her on it. I'm pretty much going to be I guess helping her write her biography. I just realized that that's what kind of it is. At the same time, write her history, her family history, and kind of guide her to guide her future generations into doing here. I told her we're going to catalog mostly story, not picture based, but story based, stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're doing. That's why it's not going to be so big. It's just going to be I don't know, an adventure. This is my first time helping somebody through this, and I guess is a great learning experience for me. And also it's I'm so looking forward to it, but that's a whole nother video. Subscribe, like. I've never really said all those things, but if you really want to follow up, I don't know when it will be. I'm guessing sometime during this month. I have to go to her house and maybe schedule it. She's waiting for the pictures, and I have to do all of the work, and I'm gonna be recording it for you, but at the same time I don't know how long it's going to be, so just I will let you guys know, I promise. But I'm really looking forward to it, so I don't know if it's gonna be that long till we get to it. And she's also looking forward to it. Every time she sees me now, she waits for me by the door when I pass by with the kids, and she's like, oh, I got the pictures coming. I just talked to my sister, and and she's always so sweet about it. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for being part of the journey and being with me in this process too. I really look forward to it, and I hope you enjoy the journey. This is something new for me, and I'm really excited. I feel like a documentary kind of thing. And I don't know, it just excites me because I watch all those ancestry shows. Oh my gosh, so much. I love them. I want to do my ancestry on me. And it's just, I'm so excited for her to gather all that information in a book. And I'm really blessed to, help her with it. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Till next time, guys, stay safe, stay crafty. I love you guys. Bye.